What's up, guys? Top 3 muscle exercises for building the hamstrings. Hamstrings, the back muscle of the leg, if you didn't know. Now, what are my top 3 and why are they my top 3? Exercise number 1, this one right here, which is lying leg curl. Now, this is one of my favorite exercises because it allows you to get a big stretch through the hamstrings, and you can then curl it like a bicep muscle and get that squeeze and that contraction. Now, the steeper this slope is, the more of a stretch there is going to be. So if your gym has multiple lying leg curl machines like this gym here, Binos, you'll want to use one that has the steepest slope, because that's going to allow for a better stretch through the hamstring, resulting in more blood flow, resulting in a better contraction. So, exercise number 1. Alright guys, exercise number 2 for building and developing the hamstrings is bent over partial deadlifts. So there are many different ways that you can perform this exercise, but the thing that you want to mostly focus on is getting a stretch through the hamstring muscles. So first exercise, we focus on what? The squeeze and the contraction. A little bit of a stretch, but now this exercise, you're not really focusing on a squeeze and contraction of the muscle, but you're really focusing on a stretch. So we want to use the weight and allow that weight to stretch through those hamstrings. There is 2 different ways to do this. Well, there's actually many different ways to do this. Some people lock their legs out. Some people have a little bend in their knees. Whatever feels most comfortable for you, and whatever you can feel the most in your hamstring, that is the best way to perform it. Right guys, exercise number 3 for the hamstrings is this machine right here, which is an isolated hamstring curl. Now the reason we're doing an isolated exercise is because, same with my quad workout, sometimes when you do an exercise where both legs are pushing or pulling, the dominant leg, even if you don't know it, will take over a lot of that. So it could be doing 60, maybe 70% of that work. Isolation, obviously the stronger leg cannot take over if you're doing it isolated. That is why I always like to include an isolated exercise where you're only using one leg or even one arm in either my leg or my arm workouts. So third exercise is standing isolated leg curl. And that right there, guys, was my top 3 muscle exercises for building and developing the hamstrings. Now, just to recap on all of that, exercise 1 was a lying leg curl that has a machine with a steep slope. Reason being, so you can get a better stretch, therefore a better squeeze and a better contraction. Exercise number 2 was partial deadlifts. Very small movement, but the reason we're doing that is to focus on the stretch part of that exercise, using the weight and allowing the weight to stretch the hamstrings in every one, and then using your hamstrings to partially stand back up to contract them. Exercise 3, which is what you just seen right here, and that is single leg curl. Isolation exercise, because when you're doing a lot of these exercises in the gym using both legs, sometimes the dominant leg will take over. So doing an isolation exercise, you can't have that happen. And that is why that is my top 3 muscle exercises for building and developing the hamstrings. Now, if you need help with a workout program to gain muscle, lose body fat, and get completely shredded, I would love to help you. See the link down below for all the different options on the diet that I have. See you in the next video, guys.